So welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. This week we're going to be working on multiplying decimals, and that's topic 6 in our math books. And the first thing we're going to do is 6-1, which is multiplying decimals by 10, 100, or 1,000. So the first thing we need to do is update our table of contents. Today's date is November 27th. 6-1. And on my math notebook, that's going to be found on page 36. Now make sure, if you haven't done it yet, if you don't have the chapter 6 divider in your notebook, that you're leaving a space for it. And that's what our table of contents should look like. So if you need to pause here, go ahead and do that. So make sure you left a space for the chapter 6 divider. And today, what you guys need to do once you get your divider is you need to explain something you hope to understand better by the end of this unit. And two key vocabulary terms we're going to use during this unit is rounded and compatible numbers. And you guys have already rounded and you guys have already used compatible numbers. So this should be more of a review, and we've already multiplied whole numbers, and multiplying decimals really aren't that different. You know how to multiply, so let's look at topic 6-1. And you know what? Those staples are going to drive me crazy, so I'm just going to start on a new page. So it's actually going to be page 37. So multiplying. And then I'm going to do my essential question. So topic 6-1 is about multiplying decimals by 10, 100, or 1,000. Now you guys already know how to multiply by 1-digit and 2-digit numbers. Today we're going to learn a shortcut for multiplying decimals by 10, 100, or 1,000. When in everyday life do you guys use decimals? Go ahead, Liliana. Cooking. I don't know if you use decimals in cooking, do you? Give me an example.
We use fractions.
Well, fractions, okay. So what about in races when we measure time, money, okay? So our essential question is, what is the rule for multiplying decimals by 10, 100, or 1,000? So right now, if you guys aren't caught up, would be a good time to go ahead and pause the video, and then go ahead and get caught up, and then go ahead and hit play. Welcome back. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the examples on guided practice. And you guys are going to do 2 through 8 even on guided practice, but I'm going to work through number 1 and number 3 on guided practice. So your assignment is guided practice 2 through 8 even. But what you guys are going to do, I'm going to work with you guys is number 1, and then we're going to work on number 3. And number 1 is going to be 9/100 times 10. So what we're going to do right now for 9/100 times 10, and if you guys aren't caught up, go ahead and pause and pay attention to what I'm doing, and then go back and look at your example, so that way you understand what I'm doing, okay? Whenever we work with decimals and we multiply by 10, 100, or 1,000, there's a really easier pattern. All we have to do is move the decimal point, okay? So when we're multiplying by 10, remember when we had the place value of the decimals, and every time we went to the right in the decimal chart, it was 1/10. But every time we went to the left in the decimal place value chart, we went up by 10. So all we're going to do is we're going to go left. We're going to go left one value in the decimal chart, okay? And the way we're going to do that is we're going to move our decimal one to the right. So when we multiply by 10, we're going to go right here. Okay? So that means that 9/100 times 10 is what? Go ahead, Charm. 9/10. Oh, wait, I wrote that totally wrong, guys. And let's do one more together. So let's do 3 1/10 times 10 to the 3rd power. So hopefully everybody's caught up to this point. If you're not, what I would like you to do is pause the video, get caught up, and then start the video. Now that you're caught up, I want everybody to drop their pencils, and I don't want you to write anything down. I want you to pay attention to the steps that we're going to do. So on number 3, our problem is 3 1/10 times 10 to the 3rd power. The first thing we need to do is solve 10 to the 3rd power. So 10 to the 3rd power is 10 times 10 times 10. So if I write this out, it would be 10 times 10 times 10. Or 1 with 3 zeros. 10 times 10 is 100. Times 10 is 1,000. I hope everybody sees that. Okay? So next thing we're going to do is we're going to rewrite our problem now that we solved for that. Is we have 3 1/10 times 1,000. And now what we need to do is for every 0 place, we need to move our decimal place to the right. So I would have 1, 2, 3. And to conceptualize that, I need to rewrite that problem. I need to rewrite that. So let me write this a little bit farther out so you guys can see what I'm going to do. And I'm going to add some zeros here so you guys can understand what's going on. So I took the same problem from above, but I added some zeros just so you can understand what's going on. So now I have 3 100,000ths. And the only reason I did this is so you can see the decimal place move. And what we're going to do is I have 3 zeros because I'm multiplying by 1,000. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And that's where I'm going to put my new decimal point. So my final answer would be 3,100. And basically what I did is I moved the place value. All I'm doing when I multiply by 10, 100, or 1,000 is I'm shifting place value. So I took 3 1/10 and I shifted that. I went to the hundredths column, then to the thousands column. Actually, no, I went to the tens column, hundreds column, and then thousands column. I shifted that value 3 places to the right. And the way we shift value to the right is by moving the way we shift value to the left is by moving the decimal places to the right. Does that make sense to you guys? Are we still thumbs up, thumbs down? Where are we at? Okay. So what I need you guys to go ahead and do is go ahead and finish guided practice on your own, and then have Miss Russell or I check it, and then you guys have independent practice, and I'll tell you what it is. This will be on page 134 through 135, 29 through 42. And if you don't finish that, that's going to be homework, okay? You guys have some time today to finish it. Oh, let me slide up so you can see it.